Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CM Trading. Today is December 29, 2021, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, British pound gaining, but the question is it going to give it up? No major economic events scheduled for today. And despite the fact that it's a very quiet session, looking at the Forex symbols, the British pound gave up at resistance. And the question is whether or not it's going to continue. We're going to take a look at that. Now, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ both rallied. But can it continue? We're at really very close to session highs. And looking at commodities, gold and oil both taper off after having a nice little rally. And looking at the stocks is pretty much a mixed bag across in the last trading session. Now looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin triggers lower after not really sustaining itself above 50K. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we're looking at the Gbp Usd. We had a nice little rally, that little rally that we broke above this 133.55, and I did mention this yesterday, and we got all the way up to 134.58ish level. Now if we look at a daily chart, this is really where it becomes very important, because look at that resistance supportish area right here is your resistance supportish area. Previous support, subsequent resistance, excuse me. So we're right there. So I do anticipate a little bit of a sell-off here, as this may correct itself after hitting 131. Now that's a pretty big range right there. That's about 300 pips. So that if for it to come back to maybe the 133.36ish level, that would be somewhere of a midpoint for it to rally back. Rally back for the dollar, tank for the GBP, right? You're always trading two currencies when you're trading currencies, right? The dollar and the GBP. Now looking at the commodities, okay, let's take a look at gold tapering off yesterday from 1818 down to 1805, right there at supportish area. So this is really important, okay? If it does break it, it's kind of like showing us that it wasn't much of a rally really. Now looking at crude oil, same story. We're at that level right now. We got that perk up, but nothing to sustain it at 76.11ish level. That's a decent level for us to be in, but just be aware of that. Now looking at the big board, the Dow Jones rallied all the way up to 36,400ish level. Amazing that we were able to do this. A really incredible kind of moves. I mean, you know, I had this somewhere down here, okay, 34,700ish level, and really rallying up to 36,000. That's crazy of a level of where it was able to rally to. Now, this can potentially be a double top as we're going into the end of the year. Beginning of January, we generally sell off. So something to consider as we're looking at this as well. Now looking at the NASDAQ also on its highs just as well. So something to consider here also. Now looking at Apple and looking at Microsoft, those are the leaders and those are the ones that we have to keep an eye on. Okay, drifting a little bit lower yesterday, both Microsoft and Apple, but I would look at to what happens today and tomorrow going into the next couple of days. Now looking at Facebook also at the top of that range, but really not breaking higher. Now looking at JP Morgan, not really at the top of the range, but yet it's still a green day. This has been pretty choppy kind of trading, to tell you the truth, altogether, but it's trending downward still. Okay, we may have seen a little bit of a capitulation of 152, but it is trending downwards. So looking lastly at Bitcoin, okay, we tapered off at that 52,000 and we're now trading at 47,000. We're still in a range, okay, which is fine. We're more inclined to think that we were going to rally into the end of the year. We didn't get that rally yet. Okay, but it's not to say that we can't get it. This is what's frustrating with the Bitcoin, because every so often it has these extreme moves, consolidates, kind of shakes you out, and then has another extreme move. So with that said, just keep that in mind, okay, that we're right now really consolidating in this really tight range for Bitcoin. Yes, it's about $4,000 to $5,000 range, okay, which is huge, but for Bitcoin, that's really a tight range for it to be in. So just be aware of it. We are in lighter volume kind of environment right now because of the holidays, so just keep that in mind. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys happy holidays and a great trading day. Thank you.